Leaving the military is hard, isn't it? I mean, transition is really tough. You know, I had a senior non-commissioned officer tell me not that long ago that he would rather go back to Afghanistan 4 more times than to ever go through transition again. How is that possible? Here's a guy with multiple deployments who's endured more personal and professional hardship, seen more violence and more struggle than almost anyone I know of, and yet he would go back and do it all again over and over rather than face the challenges of transition. You know, I think the hardships with transition start from the time we come in the military. On that first day when you're told what time to wake up, you're told what time to go to bed, what to eat and when to eat it. Your health care is taken care of. Even the birth of your child, your pay, your insurance. Everything is covered by the military so that you can focus on that all-important mission. And you know, since those towers fell on 9/11/2001, it's been mission after mission. Multiple deployments are the norm. There are guys and gals in the military with 10 deployments under their belt. The operational strain on the families, well, it's unprecedented. Our families have never endured anything like this. It's the longest war in our nation's history. And you know, another thing about transition is that it's new. It's scary as hell. When you look at what's out there beyond the military, the economy that's still struggling, the job opportunities that seem almost non-existent sometimes, and the fact that you have to run missions and deploy all the way up to the finish line, you don't even have time to think about transition in many cases. All of those things combine. They come together and they make transition extremely stressful, extremely hard on the family, hard on you. Well, I'm going to ask you to step back just for a second and take a breath. This is not the way that you would come at a challenge or a mission that you were facing if you were on active duty. And it's not the way that you need to come at transition. Instead, I want you to think about the day that you came in the military. I want you to remember back to that first day when your drill instructor was throwing trash cans down the hallway and when everything around you was in chaos. Why was it that somewhere inwardly you were smiling and you knew you were exactly where you were supposed to be? What was it that made you know that you were right where you belong? And now I want you to think back to the worst day that you had in the military. Maybe it was the day you buried your buddy. Maybe it was a really bad firefight. Maybe you just got in trouble at work. But when all of the logic in your mind and everything around you was telling you that it was probably time to leave and find something else in your life, what was it that kept you around? What was it that compelled you to continue to serve? And finally, I want you to fast forward 15, 20 years from now. Your little granddaughter sitting on your leg and she looks up at you and she asks you what it was like when you were in the military. What are you going to tell her? What are you going to tell her that will let her know just how special that time and those people were in your life? In the quiet moments when you're still, what is it that you reflect upon that gives you the most pride about your service in the military? You see, those answers to those questions, the things like service above self, love of country, teammates, this notion of never quitting, those are the qualities of who you really are. That doesn't change just because you transition or the government policy changes or because you have to take off the uniform. No, that's who you are. I've seen what you've done in these places, in these dark places. I've borne witness to your sacrifice. I've watched the loyalty and seen the courage firsthand on the battlefield. I've stood in awe of your problem-solving skills in the face of insurmountable challenges. Do you really think that you ran all those miles and endured all those hardships, got scuffed up like that, just so you can fade away? Hell no. That's not who you are. America needs you, and she needs the qualities in you more than ever before. She's in trouble. Take a look at how our politicians are behaving. Look at the state that our schools are in. Look at our communities. We need you and the leadership that you've developed over these years more than ever. The same greatness that carried you through those dark times in the military and in combat, well, that's what's going to carry you through this transition. It's no different. And I'm going to tell you something else. You're not alone on this mission. You're not alone on this mission any more than you've been alone on any other mission. Your teammates are right there beside you. Now you have to look for them, and they may not be the exact same teammates that you had when you were on active duty, but they're with you just the same. But you've got to reach out to them. Listen, this is your time. You've put your dreams on hold so that others could realize their dreams. Now it's time to hold your dreams up. Put them out there and follow them without permission. Follow your dreams and lead us. Lead my children into a better future because we need you. We can't allow you to fade away because if you fade away, we'll fade away. This is your mission. This is your time. This is Mission America.